So to make this beautiful dress, we're going to be using the following tools. So the following tools are my pair of scissors. This is the scissors I'm going to be using to cut my fabric, and my tailor's chalk. I also have my elastic that I'll be using for the waistline. I have my ruler here, my designer's ruler, my measuring tape, my bias tape. This is the bias that I bought from the store. If you want, you can make your own, but it's easier to buy it from the store. I also have my thread, which is matching with my fabric. So make sure I use the same color of thread when sewing. If you can't find, then I'm also going to wind the thread on the bobbin. I'll be using the same color of thread both on the bobbin and the top. So make sure you find the matching thread color with your fabric. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold my fabric, as you can see. So we're going to make the front and back side of the dress. So this is open this side and it's closed on the other side. So one of the fabric will be the back side, and this other one is going to be the front side of the dress. So I'm just going to fold it at the center as well. Then after folding, as you can see, I have two. One is the front and the other one is going to be the back side. So for this tutorial, I'm going to draft my pattern directly onto my fabric, because this is an easier fabric. It doesn't have a lot of print, so you guys are easily going to see the pattern on this fabric. I won't use the pattern paper. Instead, I will draft directly onto the fabric. So as you can see, I have 4 openings after folding. So we're going to start drafting. I'll use my measuring tape. I'm just going to mark 1 inch below, and this is just going to give me a starting point, or a line that is going to be my guide and starting point. So this 1 inch below, I'm just going to draw a line, as you can see. The next, I'm going to get my measuring tape and mark my neck width measurement. So my neck width measurement is 3.5 inches. Then I'm going to mark my neck depth measurement. So for this dress, my neck depth is going to be 3 inches for both the front and the back. So I'm going to connect my neck width to my neck depth, and I'm going to shape my neckline. So this is the neckline. The next, I'm going to mark my shoulder measurement. So that was the shoulder, divide by 2. My shoulder measurement is 8 inches. Then I'm going to mark a shoulder slope of 1 inch. I'm going to come down by 1 inch. Then I'll connect my shoulder slope to my neck width, as you can see. Then I'm going to draw a slanted line there. The next, I'm going to mark my armhole measurement. The next, I'm going to connect my armhole measurement and extend it outwards. So I'll just get my ruler to shape it well. The next, I'll find the midpoint of my armhole. Then on the midpoint, I'll go inside by 1/2 inch. Then I'm going to connect that point to that point and curve outwards to shape my armhole. But before I shape at this part here, I'm going to go up by 1 inch, and this is going to help me to connect that point to that point and shape my armhole. So I'm just shaping my armhole, as you can see. So that is how you easily shape your armhole. So at this point, guys, after making our armhole, I'm going to get my bust circumference divide by 4. Then I'm going to add an extra 2 inches of ease. For this pattern, it will need an extra 2 inches of ease and an extra 1 inch of seam allowance. So right on this line that I'm drawing, I'm going to put my bust circumference divided by 4 plus an extra 2 inch of rearing ease and 1 inch of seam allowance. I'm going to mark it right here, as you can see. Then after marking it, I'm going to make an A-shape dress. I'll connect that to down to the down part of the dress. So I'm just going to get my ruler and I'm going to make this shape. Then next, I'm going to just make a curve, like slight curve shape down here, as you can see. So you just have to shape the dress like that. The next, I'm going to pin the two fabrics together. Then I'm going to cut. Remember, we have the front and back placed on top of each other. So to avoid slipping, I'm going to pin my two pieces of fabric. Then after pinning, I'm going to get my pair of scissors. So as you can see, this is the front. I've pinned it with the back. So I'm just going to cut it out now. So I'm going to cut out the back first. So the front and back will have the same necklines. So now I am going to remove the pins and cut out my front armhole. So I'll just remove the pins. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to measure my waist to hip measurement. Remember, we're going to put our elastic band on the waistline. So this is the waistline. And this is where the elastic band is going to be. So I'm going to draft the waistline on the back side as well. As you see, it's on the front side. I'm also going to draw it on the back side. So this is the waistline for the back side. So now let's get into the sewing part. But before we sew, remember we have the front and the back. So the front is going to, this is the front armhole I'm cutting out. Let me cut out the front armhole. So after folding the front part of the dress, we're going to go ahead and fold and hem the back sides of the dress. But remember, the back is going to have a zipper, so we're going to cut open the center back for this dress. So this is where we're going to put the zipper. Then we'll have two pieces for the front. So I'm going to get my pressing iron and do the same process I did with the front side of the dress. So we are going to fold and press similar to what you did on the front side of the dress. So after folding and hemming the neckline and armhole, I have stitched it. I took it to the sewing machine and stitched it, and this is how beautiful the neckline and the armhole looks like. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to insert the elastic on the waistline. So I'm going to insert the elastic on my front and back side of the dress. So this is my waistline, as you all can remember. I'm going to get an elastic band. So the length of the elastic will be the front waist minus 4 inches. So whatever I have here on my front, I'll subtract 4 inches. So if my front waist is 20 inches, I'll use 16 inches length of the waistband. I'll do the same with the back. I'll measure whatever length is there, then I'll subtract 4 inches. So that is just the rule that I'm going to work with. So let me just get my elastic for my front and back, then take it to the sewing machine and show you guys how it's supposed to be done. So the back side of the dress is going to have a zipper, by the way. We'll put a zipper on the back. So this is my elastic and this is the waistline. I'm going to start stitching, and as I sew, I'll be pulling the elastic. So I'm just going to go to my sewing machine, start stitching, and remember, if you want to have beautiful gathers on your waist, you have to be pulling your elastic as you sew. And also, if you have zigzag foot, it will even be better for you. So just keep pulling and stitching. If you have a zigzag sewing machine, I would highly recommend you do this on your zigzag sewing machine. But if you don't have the stretch stitch, the one I'm using here works perfect as well. So this is how beautiful it looks after stitching the front side. And as you can see, it has given me beautiful gathers on my waistline. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same for my back side of my dress. So on my back side, I'm going to use two pieces of elastic because the back side is split into two, as it has the right and left side because of the zipper allowance that is going to be placed on the back side. So I'm just going to do the same for my back side of the dress, and once I'm done sewing on the back side of the dress, this is how beautiful the back side is going to look. So this is the front and this is my back. I'm just going to place my back on top of my front pieces. As you can see, this is the left side of my back and the right side of my back. Then the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to stitch on the neckline around. I will stitch the armholes together. I'll place this one on top of the front on top of the back, as you can see. Then I'm going to stitch, then I'll place the other one on top of the other side, then I'm going to stitch right on the shoulder lines there. Then after stitching the shoulder lines, I'm going to stitch the sides, and I'm also going to insert my zipper. Then after inserting the zipper, we're going to hem. So this is how it looks after sewing the sides. We're going to hem with our bias strip. So this is the bias strip, guys. I would recommend you buy it. It's not very expensive. It's quite affordable. So this is how it comes, already made bias strip. And I'm going to fold it. Then I'm going to sandwich the dress between the bias. So this is how I'm going to sew it. I'll fold it and sandwich it between the dress. Then I'm going to take it to the sewing machine and I'm going to start stitching. So you have to be very careful as you stitch, because if you're too fast, you might end up skipping some stitches and it will be very annoying. So make sure you take your time as you stitch. As you can see, the bias looks so lovely as I'm sewing it. So we're going to sew on the neckline as well, and your armhole you're going to put the bias. So this is how beautiful it looks after putting the bias on the armhole, the neckline, and also on the hemline. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you found it useful. See you next time, and bye.